A piece of Glasgow's history is making a comeback thanks to a local artist's work. The facade of a former downtown movie theater has been restored, bringing back to life a hint of what existed decades ago. Brennan Crane takes us to the modern-day law firm where history is alive and well.
Picture it, Glasgow nearly 100 years ago. The newly unveiled Trigg Theatre boasts a marquee and its signature black and white design. Simply put, it was the place to be.
Hundreds of thousands of kids growing up in Glasgow and Barron County went there every single Saturday to watch the reels and the cartoons and see a Western while they were in town, and their mother was probably shopping around the square and that sort of thing.
Eventually, W. Bruce Aspley from Scottsville took ownership of the building, enlarged the space, and opened the Trigg Theatre in 1915, where it remained well into the 1950s. First owned by Jeff and Betty Herbert, the law firm now belongs to Brian Pack and his wife. A few years ago, the original vitrolite began falling, crashing down to the sidewalk below. That's when Pack knew he needed to devise a plan. He connected with local muralist Casey Page.
I like the fact that it captures a lot of what this building's been about for over 100 years.
As one of the oldest buildings around the square, a lot of pre-work had to be done. Eventually, Page was able to recreate the iconic look, something he says was fairly simple to do.
We had a few reference photos from the 60s and 70s that had been taken. A lot of pictures from back when it was still a theater. And so we just pulled all those lines from those images to get what we have today.
Pack says he's just doing his part to maintain the beauty and historical significance of his space.
My predecessors, Jeff and Betty Herbert, who own this building, in one of the hallways, they've put up movie posters of the old movies that would have played back in those days, like Gone with the Wind, and Humphrey Bogart and other movies that he would have been in, and Casablanca. It was important to them that this building keeps some of its heritage, and they've passed that on to me.
In Glasgow, Brennan Crane, WBKO News.
Page is kicking off a big project across Kentucky, painting a barn in all 120 counties. Follow along on Facebook at Casey Paints to see where he goes.